He's competed against the past. He's competed against the history books. He's competed against time, expectations, and everyone who came before him. But most of all, he's competed against himself.
Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I led you to believe it was easy when it wasn't. Maybe I made you think my highlights started at the free throw line and not in the gym. Maybe I made you think that every shot I took was a game winner. That my game was built on flash and not fire. Maybe it's my fault that you didn't see that failure gave me strength, that my pain was my motivation. Maybe I led you to believe that basketball was a God-given gift and not something I worked for every single day of my life. Maybe I destroyed the game. Or maybe you're just making excuses.
Some people thought they were crazy. Others disagreed and thought they were insane. They thought, well, mostly they didn't think about what other people thought.
So I started playing hockey when I was 7. There were no girls' teams in California. It was just, if you're going to play hockey, you got to play with boys. And that was okay for me. My brother, Bill, was always on the team with me. He was a year younger than me, so we kind of paired together. And then when I was 12 years old, I found out that the IOC was going to allow women's hockey in the '98 Olympics. And suddenly I went from, just having a great time, hoping one day I could play in the NHL to, hey, let's see, that's 6 years from now. I could do that.
For me, the best I can do is just prepare myself physically and then mentally let everything else go and just have that confidence that I trained really hard in the summer and kick out of the start gate and know that I can be the best skier out there.
I was 15 when I got my first tryout, and I just remember sitting in that room at the Olympic Training Center in Lake Placid, New York, and they're reading the names off alphabetically, and I'm waiting and I'm waiting, and I hear my name, and suddenly I'm like, oh my God, I just made the national team. I think that was the moment when the national team said, you're good enough, that I started to really believe in my ability.
And the first thing I did is a backflip, completely on accident. And I landed on my head, face first, in the pool, and I was crying and crying and crying, and I got out of the pool and I said, I gotta do it again.
Hours before his race in '88, Dan Jansen's sister, Jane, passed away. He'd promised her he'd win gold. He didn't. Until 6 years later.
I have an incredibly specific routine that I do right before I jump. 4 jumpers out, I talk to my coach, I get my speed correct. 3 jumpers out, I take my mouth guard out and I put my mouth guard on. 2 jumpers out, I go through my jumps, and then 1 jumper out, I take my jacket off, I buckle up my boots, and I go through exactly what I want to do on that jump. And then I tell myself, you can do it, and you're gonna do it. And from there on out, I turn in, and I just let it go.
Derek Redmond didn't finish in first place in the 1992 400 meter. He didn't finish in second, or third, or fourth. He and his father finished dead last. But he and his father finished.
I constantly nitpick myself, so I think most of the stress and the pressure comes from me.
I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed.
Whether you're pursuing, any summer sport or winter sport, you have to have a die-hard passion for the sport that you're in, because you'll gain things, you'll lose things, but if you stick with it long enough and you love it still, then hopefully you can ride it out and take it as far as it will go.